Just imagine, there's a little kid sprawled out on the dirty, disgusting floor of a shack, covered in sweat and tears, dying of thirst, hunger, and despair. This child couldn't even get across the room to reach the phone to call for help, because his legs haven't functioned properly since birth. You may say that this child's story has nothing to do with you, and frankly it doesn't. But this doesn't mean that no one should help people who suffer on a day-to-day basis. Usually a person has to have a personal experience to have their eyes opened, but it takes a truly special person to want to help out from the start. In order to make a difference, a person has to be incredibly intelligent, able to hurdle over obstacles, and determined. All of these qualities are the same qualities the Norwegian Nobel Committee, or the NNC, looks for in a nominee for a Nobel Peace Prize. I, being a part of the NNC, noticed a special contender whose characteristics and qualities were that of a genuine saint, biomedical engineer Dr. Desiree Ritchie. All in all, 2.6 million people who are impaired by genetic disorder. Desiree made an outstanding dent in this number, personally curing 7,289 patients. How did she do that, you may ask? She put extra unpaid hours in the lab and sculpted a gene design and created the very first anti-gender gene with her own hands. Finding how Dr. Rachel executed this project was easy, because it was obvious. But because she hasn't had anyone in her life affected by a genetic disorder, the why was a lot harder to find. In an interview, she stated that when she found out the 2.6 million statistic, she thought of it not only as a number, but as people, each with their own lives and different stories to tell. She is truly a humanitarian, putting much needed faith in humanity. Now taking a closer look in our anti-gender gene, it revolutionized the medical field as we know it. We can now cure cancer as well as other diseases that are caused by genetics. The makeup of this gene is like a trained assassin. The gene is inserted into a patient and scopes out the genome and replenishes mutated and deleted genes. It cures them from the inside out. Extrapolating from the evidence, Dr. Rachel is more than qualified for the Nobel Peace Prize. Before the anti-gender gene, 2.6 million people were desperate for help, desperate for hope, and desperate for life. Dr. Rachel used her affable heart and intelligent mind to help people on a global scale, making this number decrease daily. Self-reflecting on this information, we should all be inspired, and hopefully a few of you will follow in her footsteps to make a difference in someone's life. Now, would you all please give a warm round of applause to Dr. Desiree Ritchie as she comes up and receives her award.